Hey guys, so today we wanted to give you guys some information about our belt testing and how that works. So Miss Jamie's going to go over some of the questions that are commonly asked, and I'm going to try to answer those the best that I can. She might have some extra answers for you, and we'll give you guys all the information hopefully that you need.
Okay. Well, first question up is, what is a belt test?
So a belt test is the opportunity for your child to show off some of their skills, and for us as the instructors to make sure that they know everything that they need to know in order to rank up to the next level. So if they're a white belt, they're getting their next colored belt or whatever it is. That's what they're for, and they also offer the opportunity for parents and stuff to come in, and grandparents and stuff to come in and see what their relatives have been working on.
Okay. So how often are these tests available?
So we have a formal Saturday test every 3 months, give or take a week, depending on holidays, but every 3 months we have that formal Saturday belt test.
Okay. And all of these are listed on our yearly calendar of events. So if you guys need an extra copy, you don't have yours, we can get you a digital copy or a physical copy, and they're all marked out for the entire year, as well as our Challenge the Belt weeks. But there's a whole nother video on Challenge the Belt weeks with that info.
Yes. And we'll link that in the description below, so you guys can go watch that after this one.
Hey. Alrighty. So how does a student know if they're ready to belt test?
So a couple of ways. Number one, you're going to have a checklist, and that's available either through our student portal on our website, or you can get a physical copy here. Just ask us for one. We make copies of them all the time. Don't feel bad about wasting paper. If you need it, come get it. But that is a checklist of all the techniques and information that you're going to need to know for your belt test. If you can go through that whole list and say, yep, I know this, I know this, I know this, I know this, you can put a check by everything on there, then you're probably pretty ready. However, it's also important to come in and check with an instructor and say, hey, Mr. TJ or Miss Grace or whoever, do you think that I'm ready to test? Because then we can kind of give you tips and pointers and say, hey, yeah, you know what all these things are, but we really need to work on this specific area to get you ready to test.
Okay. So do I just get to choose that I'm belt testing, or do I have to qualify?
So you have to qualify for a belt test. So for the formal belt test. So it's a little bit different for our Challenge the Belt weeks, but again, you can go watch the other video on that one. For the formal belt test, about a week prior to the test, we will actually have a pre-test where you can earn the opportunity to test. What we do that for is to make sure that everybody has the greatest chance of success.
Yeah.
And the way that works is that during a normal class, we'll go through probably about 80% of your material, and if we see as the instructors that you have all of the information that you need to be able to test, then we'll go ahead and give you a black stripe on your belt. Now, of course, that black stripe doesn't necessarily mean that you will that you will pass. It gives you the opportunity to test, and then if you bring 100% of your energy and you work hard, the likelihood that you're going to pass is pretty high. We want to make sure that we set our students up for success.
Yes. Okay. Next question. So does it cost to belt test?
Yes, unless you are part of our all-inclusive membership program, then the belt tests do cost, and that is distributed by rank. So the lowest cost tests will be your white, yellow, orange, and then we kind of graduate up through there depending on what they are. Unless you're a black belt. So a black belt test is a whole different bailiwick that has to be scheduled 3 months in advance, and the test fees are considerably higher than that for that, because it is a much more in-depth test that takes a lot longer. So if you have questions about that, if you're at the level to have questions about that, come talk to me and we'll get you all the information you need there.
Okay. And then just please ask us for current pricing for how much it costs to do formal belt tests and for Challenge the Belt weeks. They have the same pricing structure, but you can come get us the current pricing from us.
Yes, and that's based on cost of time and materials, so that's why it fluctuates just a little bit.
Yep. So, okay, if I pay to test, but then I don't pass, do I still have to pay the next time when I test again?
Yes, so that is a time and materials based fee, and therefore if you test, the time and materials are gone, and so then unfortunately we have to charge again for that. That's one of the reasons that our pre-testing is so important, is so that you don't have to pay twice. You come in, you pre-test, you're ready to rock and roll. You come in the day of the test, you do a great job, you hit it out of the park, you're good to go. You don't ever have to do that again for that test.
Yep, that's the goal. Okay, if I have a question about belt testing, when is the best time to ask you or another instructor for
So
help?
before class, if you can come in a few minutes early to class, we kind of have that 15 minutes set aside in between classes for people to leave and people to come in. And during that time frame, when you're out here working in your prep zones, you can come up to one of the instructors and say, hey, Mr. TJ, Mr. Xander, I need some help with this particular technique. And we love that. That shows us that you're really invested in working hard on your test, and we want to help you with that. We will drop what we're doing and we'll come help you if we can.
Yep, awesome. So when we come in and we're scheduled to test on Saturday, I've passed the pre-test, got my stripe, and I'm testing on Saturday. What time do I need to show up at, and what do I need to bring?
Okay, so you need to be here at least 5 minutes early.
10
We really
minutes.
recommend 10 minutes. 5 minutes is cutting it pretty close, because the rule is this: if you come in if you walk in the door at the time of the test, when it's supposed to begin, or after, you will not test that day. You're not allowed to participate in the test at all. You can sit and watch, but you won't be allowed to participate in the test. And that's for several reasons. Number one, we want to make sure that everybody has the best testing experience possible, so that everybody's ready and relaxed and prepared for the test, and they're not stressed because they're just rushing in out of the parking lot trying to toss shoes off and get on the floor. But it also means that we teach our students that punctuality is an important skill in life, and we want to make sure that we reflect that in the way we run our tests.
The tests start right away. So we do a little intro and we get started immediately. There's not a warm-up that doesn't count. It's just test materials.
Yeah, everything we do from the moment we say line up to the moment we say bow out, that's all testing.
So you want to get here early. The doors are always going to open up at least 15 minutes prior to your testing time. You get here early, already dressed in your uniform, and with your belt tied. Nicely pressed. And with your belt tied. If you need help tying your belt, please ask right away. If you need help, then we'll get someone to help you with that. And then you're going to also need a water bottle, because there'll be a time to take a break for that.
Yes.
And you'll need your testing fee if you're paying by cash or check, or we can build a card on file if you want to do that. But those are the things you're going to need. Girls, you need your hair tied back and stuff and out of your face.
Yep. Or guys, if you have long hair.
Yeah.
Just saying. You want it tied back. You tend to lose hair if you don't tie it back. It's not good.
So, okay. Couple last questions. Can I bring friends and family to a Saturday belt test?
Absolutely. We love for you to bring your support group to your tests. So we know that there are a lot of people outside of maybe just the person that gives you the ride to class that support you, and maybe they help you financially or they help you practice at home. We want those people to be here and to be able to enjoy the test as well and be able to enjoy that celebration with you. However, due to the limited space we have, we do generally send out a week prior how many people each person is allowed to bring. The great thing is that technology has advanced, and now we have Zoom. So if you have 20 family members that want to see you test, that's great. You can bring 3 of those, and the rest of them can watch via Zoom. You can have a watch party. Make them some popcorn before you leave the house, and there you go.
And we will have Zoom available, and we will send out those links along with all the other details prior to the test date.
Yep.
Okay, last question. What if I need more help getting ready to test?
So if you need a little bit more help getting ready to test, we have generally the Saturday prior to the belt test, we have something called test prep sessions. And those are 20-minute sessions, which are usually priced at $1 per minute, depending on the economy, unfortunately. But those are, right now, they're at $20 for a 20-minute session. And they allow you to come in and really get some private instruction on those little fine details that you're working on getting ready for the test. Now, if you can't make it to that Saturday, or if you feel like you need more time than what that offers, you can schedule a regularly scheduled private lesson with me. I do have those during the week that are available. I have some in the morning and some on Wednesday evenings. So if you need one of those, you can schedule those through the MyStudio app or through simply calling us, and we can set you up with that.
Okay, awesome. I think that we've covered all of the questions, but if you think of anything in addition to this, please just ask us. Phone, email, Facebook Messenger, all the ways.
Yep, you can contact us anyway.
Yep, we're available. So.
All right, guys. Well, thank you for bearing with us through this. Again, if you have any questions, please feel free to call or email, And we look forward to seeing you guys in class and watching a lot of you graduate to your next belt very soon.
All right. Thanks for watching.